All right, here we go. It's finally time. Alex, I've been promising you to make a YouTube video action figure review for probably half a year, and today is the day. I hope you're excited. This is one of the best figures that I got last year in 2025. It is the Astonishing X-Men Beast Marvel Legends figure. So as I am new to these YouTube videos, I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts and what I like about this figure and why I think it's one of the best figures that came out in the last year, at least in mass retail. And I'm gonna talk about all the accessories and articulation. Just gonna show him with some other figures that go well with him. So, as you know, I wanted to make this video half a year ago, but you know how it is, life happens. But now it is 2026 and the kids are in bed and I'm finally able to sit down and shoot this video. So here we go. So as you can see here, it comes in a blister card packaging. You can see the figure here. He comes with an alternate head, so he has this feral screaming head sculpt, and then he has a more neutral pensive head sculpt. He comes with 4 total hands, so you see 2 clawed hands are on the figure, and then there's 2 more figure hands that are obscured here by this paper insert that I'll show you in a little bit. And then it comes with the super cool comic book accessory, which is a comic book. So it's a plastic representation of an actual comic book that this figure can hold, which is very meta. And I can show you the back of the card, some cross-sell. Here is a larger image of the Astonishing X-Men comic book that is packed in with this figure. And there's the traditional cross-sell of other figures that come in this wave. And I actually bought this Daredevil, which is also a really, really good figure. But that's it for the packaging. Let's talk about the figure. And here he is, Astonishing Beast. So as you can see here, he has these 2 wide open clawed hands that can be gesturing. He can be clawing at things. And then he also comes with 2 other hands. So in the package, there's this right fist hand, which looks nice. It's just, I don't know why a feral beast character like this one would need to punch anything. He can claw and rip, but it's included. And then the other hand is a left open hand. And the difference between the one that's on the figure and this one is that this one has the thumb slightly adducted. And what that can do is it lets him hold accessories. So for example, he can hold a comic book like the one that's included here. So as you can see, this is not the one that came with him, but it's a Daredevil comic book. And then he can also hold different book because, of course, Beast is a very it's a character that reads a lot. And so here you can see how he holds a book. And then one of the coolest accessories is the other head. So I'm just gonna exchange those real quick off camera. And here you can see him with the other head on. And so what's so cool about this figure is because of the 2 heads and the expressive hands and the accessories, he can get into a bunch of super cool poses. And so I wanted to demonstrate that to you. So let's start with the head here. I just wanted to show you how cool it is that they painted the individual teeth, and then the inside of the mouth is red, and then he has the furrowed brow, he has the ears, he has the beastly yellow eyes. And then what's cool about this head is the way it's mounted is you can have him with the head slightly up, which makes it look like he has a neck. You can see here. But then you can also pull the head down, which makes him even more feral, and now he can scrunch over. And so you can see that there's quite a bit of engineering that's going on into articulation of his shoulders. So he has what is known as traditional ball and hinge shoulders here. So the arm goes up and it turns around, but in addition he has what is called the butterfly joint, and that allows the arm to go forward and then all the way back, as you can see here. And what that does is it lets him spread the arms super wide like this. And you can see how it helps that because of the neck articulation, he can look down and he can look up, and then he has this torso articulation, which is two parts. It's this floating joint, and then it's this crunching joint. And you can see how it's easy to get him into somewhat of a crouching pose. Isn't that cool? And then, of course, it's important that he's still able to stand in all of those poses. And so you can see how the leg has a joint here in the hip. And then there's what is called a thigh swivel that lets the leg rotate. And then there's the knee joint, which is actually two joints, one at the top, one on the bottom. And then there's, for the foot, there's an up and down hinge. Then there's calf rotation. And then what's super cool is he even has a toe joint. And so as you can see, he can do all kinds of jumping and leaping and clawing poses. And it's really helpful that he has these wide open hands that work in a variety of poses. Now let me take the other head back on. And so when I saw the promotional images, I thought I would love the screaming, yelling head sculpt more. And that's how I would display him on my shelf with the other figures. But the more I played around with this neutral kind of deep in thoughts head, the more I came to like it, because as you can see here, he has so much personality in his in this calm head here that just, you know, walking around Xavier Manor and like talking to other characters and like gesturing, maybe holding some lab accessories because of course he's a scientist like you. Just so many options. And then we can quickly change the head out, the hand out. And this is what it looks like with the accessory holding hand, and you can see how he's holding his little book that he's going to read before nighttime. All go. And so to round this review up, I wanted to show him, let me put him back into a more action pose with the other head, the screaming expression, and the feral claws. Sorry, just posing him here for you. How does that look? That looks pretty good. And so what's really cool about this is you don't really need to move him around too much. Like, he moves just like you would expect, so you don't need to like spend crazy amounts of time getting all the joints right. You just kind of move him the way you want him to, and he stays in this pose and just looks so good. And so I wanted to bring in the Wolverine from the same comic book. And this is one of the best figures that came out last year. Again, super good, angry expression. You see the claws, you see the costume that is from the same comic book. And they look great together. And so the other cool thing is that Beast is, of course, a larger character, and you can see how he towers over Wolverine, who, of course, is a shorter guy. But I just like how the Beast figure feels in hand. All right, let's get him out of the picture, and let's get Beast back into my preferred pose. And yeah, it's super easy to swap the accessories. The head pops in and out really easy and really nice. And the hands change really easy and really nice. And you can see how it's so easy to get him from a action pose to a more neutral, just kind of thinking about life pose. And that's pretty much it. And so let me put him here in the front. And so since I've been talking about this figure so much, and it is the subject of my first review, I really wanted to not only share this video with you, but also this figure. And so I actually ordered the second copy, as you can see here. That is brand new and unopened, and this is on the way in the mail to you right now. It's kind of a little belated birthday / Hanukkah / Christmas / New Year's Eve gift. And I hope this video will help you enjoy this little fella. At least a fraction of how much I enjoy it. And the cool thing is my kids have been loving this Beast too. I don't know if you can see it, but there are a couple little scratch marks from when the little one threw him off the couch. So, an universally great action figure. I hope you can appreciate that. All right, that's it for my very first video. Have fun and let me know. Have a good night. Bye-bye.